The movie opens with a tense exchange between a lady and a man. The lady questions the man point blank asking, "Are you a serial killer?" This moment establishes an immediate sense of tension as the man grunts and the woman begins to choke. The movie describes a serial killer and is divided into 6 parts starting from chapter 3. The scene begins with a girl driving away in a car while someone is chasing her. After a few moments he stops, takes out a weapon and shoots, which prompts the girl to turn the car around on the road. As she gets out he speeds by, almost hitting her, but she runs into the woods and hides. While he searches for her she finds some alcohol and uses it on a wound on her ear. In shock she briefly lights a cigarette and then continues on. Eventually she comes across a house and asks an elderly couple for help. A significant portion of the early narrative involves a radio broadcast discussing myths, cults, and strange happenings. This sets a backdrop of mystery and draws in the audience to the peculiarities of human stories, perhaps alluding to the characters' entangled fates. Chapter 5 begins where she is hiding in the freezer. The man is searching for her in the house, missing her once then a second time, which causes frustration and nervousness because he cannot find her. He moves into another room where he passes by a dead body and goes outside to light a cigarette. He returns inside and looks at the freezer. Finally he fires a shot into the freezer and the ladies scream, giving away her position. Chapter 1 Snuffles flashback to the beginning. The girl met a guy at the bar and now they're talking in the car in front of the hotel. A series of interactions between characters, both humorous and harrowing, blur the lines of normalcy and danger. For instance, dialogues that sound flirtatious morph into sinister undertones, challenging the audience's understanding of consent and control in relationships. The lady suggests a more intimate encounter, proposing they explore their desires. However, the conversation takes a darker turn as they discuss power dynamics in relationships. The lady highlights the risk of violence, exposing the underlying fear women navigate in these situations. This theme of safety versus desire becomes a recurring motif. Just as the tension seems to build into a mutual attraction, the lady suddenly asks if the man is a serial killer. A struggle ensues, showcasing a chaotic mix of aggressive tension and fear. She starts to get scared and cries, after which she uses the safe word they agreed on to stop the situation. We see that he also has a gun. She hugs him and says that he performed well, where chapter 1 ends. Chapter 4 begins with an old couple enjoying life, preparing lunch, then working on a puzzle and spending their time in silence until someone knocks on the door. The older woman grabs bear spray and they open the door and let her inside. She says that a man attacked her and asks if they have any weapons. Since she is in pain, the woman goes to get some tablets while the older man wants to call the police. She doesn't want the police here, leading to a conflict. Where screams can be heard, the older woman goes down and is shocked by the sight of her husband. She looks for a place to tie her up and the woman says they have a storm shelter because they are doomsdayers. They go outside and the woman seizes the chance to escape. The girl goes back inside, looks for a place and decides on the freezer. She takes a pain tablet and a jacket and goes back in. Then we chapter 2. The lady's dark fantasies lead into reality as she engages in a twisted roleplay that incorporates notions of violence alongside desire. The dialogues become more sinister as they negotiate consent, yet they subvert typical understandings of power. The woman expresses a desire for subjugation while simultaneously grappling with her safety. She suggests having a party with drugs and says that it's her birthday, which he cannot refuse. She prepares 2 lines but secretly takes another bag for him. They try it and she pushes him away. He has had enough and starts to pack to leave. Meanwhile, she goes to the bathroom where she takes out a knife and a taser. She comes out and finds him lying helplessly in front of her because of the substances she gave him. Then she takes off her wig and looks at his documentation, which shows that he is a policeman. She goes to his room, having had enough of the game. At that moment he pulls out a gun and shoots her in the ear. She runs outside, jumping as far away as she can. While he gets up, she enters a store seeking help where she kills a woman and steals clothes and a car, leading us to the final chapter. After he finds her, he sits down to rest and he puts handcuffs on her wrist and calls for help. He goes back and she is awake. He asks her if she is the Electric Lady. The Electric Lady rolls an embodiment of wrath against abuse and a symbol of empowerment. She continues to talk and sing and suddenly pulls out a spray that she uses on him. He approaches and gets bitten on the neck. She tries to get away and grabs the gun, but when she suddenly hears a car, she tries to play the victim and receives support from a woman who decides to take her with them. On their way, they encounter an old woman who recognizes her, so she orders the police officer to step out, whom she will spare while she kills the other officer. She gets out of the car and walks on foot, coming across a woman with a truck who is leading her away. Then she slowly takes out a gun and the woman notices her, also draws her gun and shoots. The scene ends as it slowly fades to black and white while she is losing consciousness. The film concludes ambiguously, leaving viewers unsettled regarding the fate of its characters.